and I'm going to start the armature. First, let me set this origin hopefully back. Okay, so now it's the center. I don't know why it's not. There we go. So starting the armature, I'm going to go to add armature. We're going to move this guy up here. You want to go to your, this one here, the object properties, check on viewport, check in front. Then we'll go into edit mode. We're going to click here on this point and extend it up to about where the belt meets. We're going to do Shift E and we're going to move it up again. Press Z to keep it straight to about halfway. Press Shift E again to extrude it again. Press Z to keep it straight, and you're going to go about right here. Then Shift E again, and this one's going to go up to the neck line right here, so a little tiny one. You might want to zoom out, scoot up. You're going to have Shift E again. Press Z to keep it straight for the head. Okay, so let's go and rename these. So I'm going to select this one first. I'm going to press F2, change it to root. Next, F2, this is going to be spine.001. Next one, F2, spine.002. This one here, F2, this is neck. This one, F2, head. Okay, so what we need to do next is move these arms into a T pose. So in edit mode, you can select your arm and begin to rotate it. We just kind of want this part straight, so that's what you're trying to aim to do. So maybe something like that. And then just make sure you have that, at least this joint here centered. Okay, now I'm going to select this one, do the same thing. So thinking, just try to see if you have that kind of similar. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to object mode, select my armature, go back to edit mode, and I'm going to press Shift A to create a new bone. We'll go ahead and move this over here. And let's turn on our wireframe. Gonna rotate this. Gonna move that here. Then I'm going to hold Shift and E and extrude this one out, and then try to get this lined up right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this like top view, other way. Okay. And then here you can kind of get it lined up a little bit better here. Make sure this one is kind of in the middle of where the elbow is. That looks about right. And then we're going to do Shift and E and extend it here for the wrist. Okay, so I'm going to move this one up to about right here. Then we can go ahead and get this different view. Oh, and I want to move that down about right here. Move that down. Let me check the top. Okay, that looks good. Okay, then from here, we're gonna do Shift E and put a bone here. Shift E, put one here. So I'm kind of doing every two, and then Shift E, put one here. Okay, so then we need to see what it looks like on the top. Well, let's get these kind of straightened out here. And then we just keep going back and forth to make sure that it looks okay from different angles. So right now it's sticking out, so let's stick that in there. Maybe this needs to be brought in a little more. Okay, so we're going to try to mirror the other side later. So next what I want to do is select my object, go to edit mode, and I'm going to select this vertex and this one. Okay, so once you have those selected, you're going to press Shift S and do cursor to selected. Okay, then when we press Shift A, we're going to go back to object mode, select the armature, go back to edit mode, press Shift A, and that'll put our joint right there in the middle of our leg, which is where we need it. Okay, so we're going to leave it right there in that spot. Then we want to come to the side view here, and I'm going to bend this part because this is going to be where the knee bends, and I'm going to press Shift and E and extrude this down this way. Maybe bring it up a little bit higher. Then I'm going to press Shift E again and do one to about right here where this meets. And then Shift E again for this bottom one for the foot. Maybe scoot that over a little bit. Okay, so you should have something like this going on. Another thing we want to do, if you haven't, in object mode, select your Lego figure, go to edit mode, and we want to add loop cuts here where the bend of the knee would be. So similar to what we did up here. So Ctrl R. Oh, it's just multiple seams there. That's not how I want that. So you can see that it does this curve because we have a curve up here, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do this time is we're actually going to use the looped cut tool. So get rid of that and select your loop cut, and you'll see it's doing the same thing, but what you're going to do is you're going to click. Okay, so hold that, and you're going to press SZ0 just like that, and you can see now that it turns straight, but it's set that there in place. Let's see if we move it up. As long as it doesn't change anything when we move it, we should be good. So I'm going to put that right there in the middle of that knee joint, and then I want to add one right above it and right below it. I'm going to get my loop cut tool. Oh, so it's working down here, so then we'll just move that up. I'm going to put this here, SZ0. No, sorry, I got to click it first, move it down, and then SZ0. Why is it way up there? Okay, there we go. So look at that in the front, make sure that's lined up okay. That should be good there. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. That's pretty close. Okay. Okay, and the reason why we didn't do anything else with the elbow is because we already have those lines there, so that should help with our elbow movement. Okay, so now it's time to start renaming these. Go ahead and go back to grab your armature, go to edit mode. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to press F2 to rename it, and I'm going to do this up.arm.L. low.arm.L. hand.L. Okay, so for these, I'm going to call these 3 on these side finger and these thumbs. So on this one, I'm going to press F2. I'm going to do finger 1.L, finger 2.L, finger 3.L, thumb 1.L, thumb 2.L, thumb 3.L. Okay, so now I'm going to click down here, F2, thigh.L, leg.L, foot.L, and then this one down here is going to be toe.L. Okay, I'm going to go back to these and remove this dot that I put in there. Okay, so now before we mirror these to the other side, we need to make sure that our joints are going to rotate in the right area. Come up here and select normal. Okay, and then get your rotate tool. And then we want to open the sidebar. So this is a lot very similar to what we did with the robot. Okay, so looking at this one, we want this x-axis to be there on the side, which it is, so that's good. We come over here and that's also looks pretty decent. So I think that might be good. If yours isn't that way, you can come over here to the roll and you can start messing with that to get the red line facing this way. Okay, so same with that, because that is the way that we're going to want our joints to move. Okay, so again, over here you can edit that. If it's not, or if you need help with that, let me know. So now we're going to look at this one. So, well, looking at this, kind of got to see where this is at. This one's a little confusing because it can turn up and down, and it could also turn that way. So let's kind of see what. Okay, definitely not the green one. So that will look like it would be okay, and that looks like it would be okay. Let's see, where's the roll? I think I'm gonna switch it this way and see what that does. Okay. So I think I like that better. So I just rolled it so that the red axis is a little bit more on top than on the side. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the fingers. Let's look at the fingers kind of from a top angle view. I'm not sure about this one. Let's see. Oh, I'm changing the wrong thing. Okay, go back to this one. Okay, so I've rotated it almost all the way around where the red is kind of lined up this way. So I think that's going to be better. Okay, so then I need to do the same thing for this one. So I'm moving this to the left and just kind of centering that, and then this blue axis is now going this way. Same thing on this one. What am I doing? The red. I think that should be fine there. So I'll show you those again. The red line is going this way on all of these three, okay? Okay, so now let's go to this bottom side here. Try to get a good angle of that. I hate looking at the bottom, it's so confusing. Okay, almost there. Okay, so same thing, I'm gonna line this red line up. Maybe like that. Let me see. Whoa. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. I'm on this bone now. Okay, I've moved this one that way. Same. Okay, click this one, do the same thing. And this one, same thing. Okay. So what we want to do is we do want to kind of test this. So let's go to pose mode. We'll click this one here and get the rotate tool. And then that is what should happen. Like it could grab something. Okay. And let's do this one. Yeah, that looks right. Make sure you click on the red line to rotate. Let's look at the wrist. I'm thinking this one might be a little bit off. Maybe I need to roll that one a little more. Let's try it that way. Go back to pose mode. Okay, yes, I think. Or should it be going the other way? I think it's supposed to be going the other way. I can't really, can I move it backwards? Yes. Hold on. So I'm gonna go back for this one. It's not the way I want it. And change the roll, move this kind of more up that way. Go back to pose mode. Okay, that's how I want it. So in edit mode, this, ooh, hold on. Let me go back to pose mode. Pose, clear transform all. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to look back here at the front and look at these leg bones. So I'm going to select this one first. So I'm thinking this one here needs to be, this line, this red line needs to be where the blue line is. So, where's the roll? Let's go to edit mode. I'm going to change that here to the front. It's exactly 180. That should be good. And these, same thing. And select that one. Okay, let me go into pose mode. Okay, so that looks a lot better than what it was doing before. Edit mode, we're going to select our entire leg, press Shift D to duplicate, press Enter. Oops. Did I make a duplicate? Okay. Shift D, enter. Okay. Make sure here that this says 3D cursor, and then we're gonna press Ctrl MZ. Nothing happened. So it's not on the Z, it's the X. Okay, sorry, Ctrl Z X. So when you press Ctrl M, that mirror thing should have popped up, and the X thing should have been popped up also. So that mirrored that for us there. Okay, this is the one I'm not sure it's gonna work out right because this might not be an exact copy of this. So we'll highlight over this arm here. Same thing, Shift D, enter. Okay, then I'm gonna do Ctrl M X. Press enter, Ctrl MX. Okay, so I put that there and it's just a little bit off, so we'll just go in and fix that. So I'm going to select all of these. And now I need to do medium point. So first I want to look here at the top and kind of compare it. Now I want to get like a good frontal view here of this arm. So now I need to look at these joints again. Okay, that one's the same. Okay, so this one, the red line should be going down. It is, but it doesn't look straight. Okay, right there, maybe. Oh, sorry, I need to put this on normal. Okay, so wrong way. This way, right here. So the X line should be going the same way as that. This one looks like the blue line is going this way, the red is on the outside. So let's move that one about right there. Okay, let's look at the fingers again. I think the fingers, I looked at them from the top angle. So it looks like the red is on the side of all of these. And then from the top, it's on the front. So let me select these. And let me look at the legs. So the red line should be on the center for all of these. Yes. Okay, so let me go to pose mode and check this. Okay, I think that's fine. Let me go back to edit mode. Okay, so now let's we're back in edit mode, and if we look over here, this bone is thigh.L.001. So what we want to do is highlight over these. We're going to right click, select names, and flip names. So now they should have R's on them, but they have those numbers on them, which we need to get rid of. So I'm going to press F2 and just delete those numbers for each of these bones. Okay, and then we want to do the same thing for these. So highlight this side, right click, names, flip names, Okay, and same thing here. So we're just going to press F2 and delete the numbers and the dot at the end. So now we need to parent these bones. So I'm going to select this bone here, hold shift, and select this first bone here. Do Ctrl P and keep offset. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for this side. Select this one, hold shift, select this one, Ctrl P, keep offset. Okay, real quickly, I'm going to move this back to global and median point in case you hadn't already. Okay, so then we're going to come down to the legs. Select our thigh bone, hold shift, select the root bone, Ctrl P, keep offset. Same thing over here, thigh, hold shift, root, Ctrl P, keep offset. Okay, so let's go check this in pose mode. Okay, so make sure your arms are moving with your spine and that your legs are moving with the root. Okay. Okay, so now that that's working, let's go back to object mode and we're going to now parent our character to our armature. And this time we're going to do it different than what we've done in the past. So make sure you have both of those selected, character first, then armature. Control P, and this time we're going to try automatic weights. Okay, so this just uses the vertices that you already have and it's going to try to like get it right, you know, parenting wise. So we'll see how it goes. So we'll come up here, let's choose local. We'll move this. So far looks pretty good. Oh, this one maybe is okay. There we go. Let's come here, maybe lift up the leg. Looks good there. Bends pretty nicely. Let's rotate this. I'm not sure about that. So this looks like the only thing that maybe is not moving with everything. That little neck bone here. I feel like maybe I should have extended the neck out more. Okay, so just like we're having issues there at the belt. Clear transform all in case you know there was something wrong there. I want to mess with this, just see what it does. Not bad, not bad. But what we'll need to do is go back into object mode. Click on our armature, our Lego figure, and select white paint. Paint. And I want to come down here, find that spine 1, okay, spine 2, neck, head. Just kind of take a look at some of these. I'm going to come select, so this is the bottom spine, this is the top spine. I'm going to come here and change the weight to very small amount and just kind of start painting that there. I want to see, okay, and wireframe. Just give it a little bit of paint down here and we'll see what that does. Okay, before I go back, I want to go and select this face select here, and I want to select, I don't know if it's gonna let me go back to edit mode. I'm gonna select this whole object and this whole object, and I'm here on spine, and I'm gonna remove that from the spine, and now I want to see what I have selected. So now I just have that. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to object mode, select my armature, go into pose mode, and I'm gonna move this now. Whoa. So honestly, I can't remember what it was doing before, but I think that helped. So now this is okay. So now it is moving with the top there. This part, I think it's okay. So I'm gonna go back, select this, and I'm gonna look at my weight paint one more time. I'm just gonna kind of look at all these. So it looks like here on the hand, it doesn't even have any of that selected. So I'm going to go to Object Edit Mode. I'm going to get my face select, hold on the Alt key, select these faces. This is hand.r, so I'm going to assign that. I'm going to check this one. This is going to be hand.l. Did I already pass that? Yes. So let's see. Assign that. And then I want to go to hand.l, select. So far that's what it has there. And then hand.r. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to weight paint. I'm going to select the root bone. And I'm going to add, go to edit mode, press L over this. I'm going to assign this also to the root bone and spine 1. Alt L. Let me remove it from spine 1. Okay, I removed that. Okay, let me look at, go to pose mode. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it like that for now. Huh. Okay, next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna add that inverse kinematics to our legs. We did this last year with our character sphere that we created in animation 1. So what we want to do first is we want to go into edit mode, and we're going to click on this foot .l bone. You can make sure you have the right bone right here. Sorry, it's not this one, foot, not leg. So foot.l, we're going to duplicate it. So press Shift D and just right click so it will hold it in place. Okay, and we're going to come over here. It should say foot.l.001. We're going to change this name to foot.ik.l, just like that. Okay, so make sure you change that. Now, with that selected, don't unselect anything. We're going to press Alt P, and we're going to clear parent for just that bone there. Okay, so now we're going to go into pose mode. Make sure you have foot.l selected now. So you may have to go and find that bone. Okay, so now I have my foot.l selected. And we're going to go to bone constraints, which should be right here. And we're going to add bone constraint, and we're going to select inverse kinematics. Our target bone is going to be the armature. Sorry, our target is the armature. The bone we're going to pick is foot IKL. Okay, and it's probably going to do this. Go ahead and increase the chain to 2. Okay, so that should make him bend his knee, and then we're going to uncheck use tail. And that'll put it back down. Okay. Then next thing we want to do is we want to choose that foot.l again, which it should be already selected. You can see by looking up here. And we're going to add a bone constraint, and this time we're going to do copy rotation. Here it is down here, copy rotation. For target, we're going to select armature, and for bone, we're going to select that foot IKL again. Then what we want to do is use the foot IKL, and we can kind of move that around. You can press G, you can see that it's bending. But what that does, and I'll show you here, if you click the root bone and we start moving this down, you can see that the foot stays planted, okay? And we haven't done this one yet, so that's why that one is not. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear transform. So now what we're going to do is do the same thing, but on this other side. So we need to go back into edit mode. Click on that. Foot bone, make sure you have the right one. Foot.r. Okay, so I'm going to Ctrl D to duplicate that, maybe. Is it Shift D? Okay, Shift D, sorry. Right click to hold that in place. I'm going to change the name to foot ik.r. Okay. Now we'll go into pose mode just like before. Oh, we forgot to clear the parent. So back to edit mode. Okay. With the foot ik.r, you're going to push Ctrl P. Can make sure you have the right one. Ctrl P. Clear parent. Hopefully that worked. Because if I push Ctrl P again, let's see. It says connected. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that's right. Okay, back to pose mode. Now we need to go and pick our other regular foot. Wait a second. Foot.r. Okay, object constraint properties. We're going to check inverse kinematics. Target is armature. Bone is going to be foot ik.r. Okay, remember we'll change the chain length to 2 and uncheck use tail. Okay, with still the foot.r selected, we're going to add the copy rotation. It's down here, target, armature, bone, foot ik.r. And let's see. So I'm pressing G, it's moving. Let's see if it stays locked. If I move this down, and it does. Close, clear, transform, all. Okay, so now we need to go back to edit mode. We're not done yet. We're gonna go to, we want to select this bone right here. And I'm not sure if I selected it. So if you get the move tool, you can see what you've selected. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on global for now. So we're not gonna duplicate a bone. This time we're going to just start or create a new one. So what we wanna do is move this 3D cursor here. So we can do Shift S, and we're gonna go to cursor to selected. So that move that cursor there. So when we press Shift A to create a new bone, that bone gets put right there when we want it. Then we're going to start rotating it. So go ahead and get your rotate, use that white line, and you want to hold Control down to kind of get that situated there. And then press Shift, and hopefully that should get that good there. We're going to bring it in a little bit. It should be straight. If it's not looking straight, maybe we need to do a little more rotating. So you should be able to tell when this line comes if it's straight, and it doesn't look like it is. Okay, So maybe I need to bring this out just a little bit more. So we're gonna make another bone that comes like from here to here. Looking at this, maybe this is gonna be kind of close to that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is move our cursor here again. So Shift S, cursor to selected. Okay, and then we're gonna press Shift A to make that new bone. We can go ahead and bring that bone down a little ways. We're gonna rotate it again, holding Control. It looks kind of straight. I'm gonna go ahead and press Shift, and that should make it level with the other. I don't know if it is. I'm going to select this bone back here, and I'm going to use my rotate tool. Look up here as I hold Control, and I'm going to rotate that 180 degrees. Okay, have something like that. Okay, now what we want to do is select this bone here. Make sure you have it on the right side, and we're going to again do Shift S and cursor to selected. Okay, then Shift A to create a new bone, and we're going to rotate this one holding Control and kind of make this one go straight. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna have another bone, and we want it in that exact location again. So Shift A. Okay, and we're gonna rotate this down probably around like 180 degrees. Okay, and we can move this up a little bit. Okay, so now we need to rename these bones. So select this one up here. You can press F2 to rename, and we're going to name this toll roll.L. Okay, then we can select this one here. Okay, looking at this one, it looks a little bit crooked. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to select this one, press F2. This is going to be heel roll.L. Now we'll go to this one, and this is going to be foot roll.L. Then we'll select this one here, press F2. This one's going to be foot control.L. Okay, and also in the, what is it, object data properties, if you check names, you should be able to see the names here. This kind of is going to help like when you're rigging it to know like what bone is what and all that. If that's not showing up, because I feel like it wasn't showing up before, try changing this to something else and then putting it back on this one, and then it should show up. Okay, so we need to go to pose mode to check some things. With this heel roll here, we're going to get the rotate, and we're going to select normal. We're going to rotate that bone up, and okay, so if this number here and the X is negative, then we need to go fix some things. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that and go back to edit mode. And on our roll, I'm going to change that to, well, it's negative 90. I'm going to try 180 positive. I'm going to go back to pose mode. Still negative, so I don't know. Let me go back to edit mode. So I'm going to roll it over one more time, which would be 270? I don't know, no. 180 plus 90? Yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to post mode, check that. Oh, check that. Okay. Looks like it says -0, but whatever that means. Okay, now it's positive, so should be good with that. So just depending, mine was, so when I first came here, this was at 90, so I had to move it over a positive 180 degrees, which made it 270. So if yours was at 0, then you might have only needed to move it to 180. So the only thing that I am seeing is the red one should be the one that I'm rotating, and it's not, it's the blue. So I don't really know what that means, but I'm gonna choose this and continue to roll that one more time. I'm gonna go back to pose mode. And there we go. Okay. So what you want is for this red circle to appear this way so that it's the one rotating it that way. So whatever that number ends up being. Okay. Okay, so now we need to mirror these to the other side so we don't have to make them again. So select the ones we just made. So toe, foot control, heel, and foot roll. Okay, we want to move our cursor back to the front, which was Shift S, cursor to world origin. We want to put our orientation back into global. And we need to come up here and change our pivot point to 3D cursor. So we're going to press Shift D and right click to hold that in place. Was it Shift M or Control M? Okay. Control M to mirror, Control M X. Okay. Okay, so now with those selected, you can right click on those, go to names and flip names. And then you'll have to go in, of course, and remove the .001 on those. So go ahead and do that. So all these bones that we just made is just going to help with the roll of the foot. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to select the foot IKL bone, and if you get this open, it'll show you what you press. So right now I don't have it selected. You can try to come click it again, and if you can't, just find it up here, foot IK.L. Then we're going to hold down the shift key and select toe roll. Okay, so you just have those two selected. Okay, then with those two selected, go ahead and do Control P, and you want to keep offset. Okay, now we're going to select toe roll and hold shift, heel roll, Control P, keep offset. Okay, then we're going to select heel, hold shift, select foot roll, and then select the foot control. Okay, Control P and keep offset. Okay, so now we're going to go into pose mode. You want to make sure you change this back to median point. Then if we select this toe roll and move it on the red one, you can see that it controls that toe there. And then the heel, same thing, like that. Okay, so now we need to parent these on this side. So we're getting the foot IK. Make sure you have the right one. Looks like I do. I'm going to hold shift and select toe roll.R and Control P. Keep what? Oh, I'm in the wrong mode. Edit mode. Control P. Keep offset. Okay. Okay, then we'll select our toe, hold shift, select the heel, Control P, keep offset. Okay, then we're going to select the heel, hold shift, select foot roll, and then select the foot control, which is I'm going down, Control P, keep offset. Okay, then I'm going to go back to pose mode and kind of do another test like I did before. Make sure everything's working. Okay, so we need to do a little more editing here so that this bone will control the foot roll. So we're going to select toe roll here on the left side and go to the object constraint. So add a new one, and we're going to do copy rotation. Okay, so then we're going to target is armature, bone is going to be the foot roll .L. Then we need to go and change the target and the owner to local space. Okay, so then we can check the foot roll and it should be working. So then you can see that this can go up pretty far. So what we're going to do is add another constraint. So go back to the toe roll and we're going to add a limit rotation so that we limit it to a certain point. Okay, so we're just going to try some things here. We can check limit X and we can do a max of 30 degrees here and change this to local space. So then we can test this, go back to the foot roll and start rotating it, and now it's not doing anything. So maybe I did it, I think maybe my bone is facing the wrong direction, even though I thought I fixed that. Or I'm not gonna, besides doing that, I'm just gonna go to back to this. So I have it at 30, I'm gonna do negative 30 and try that. Okay, so then you can see that it'll only go up as many times. So it just depends how yours is rotated, what your degrees might have to be for that. Okay, so now we're gonna do something similar to the heel roll. So select that one and add a copy rotation. We're going to do armature with our bone as the foot roll again, .L. We're going to turn off Y and Z, and we want to change this again to local. And, I don't know. Then we're going to, here on the invert, also select the X there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my foot roll bone, move it, and it doesn't look like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Because I think somehow, I think this is just wrong. So that just looks weird. Pose, clear transform, all. Okay, so I'm trying this again. Okay, so what I ended up changing, and again, this just depends on how your bones are. I did not end up inverting that because when I did invert it, it's going the wrong way. So somehow I probably flip-flopped something. So I'm not going to invert that. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So this bone should be going up as I move that up. I'm not sure why that one's disconnected. Okay, so then another thing we want to do is add that limit rotation on the heel roll. So I'm going to add limit rotation. And I'm going to do X, and I'm going to go ahead and do the minimize 30 since that's what it was last time, but could be the positive. Okay, I think that works. If it didn't work for you, then just try the opposite. So your max is 30 instead. Make sure also that on this heel roll that you have the owner space at local space. I think I forgot to change that. And then again, check it after you do that. Make sure it's okay. Okay, so now we're gonna select the right side. So toe roll R, add copy rotation, select armature. Okay. Then for bone, we're going to choose foot roll.R. Make sure to change this to local space. You can take those off. We want to come and check that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back to this toe roll, and we want to add the limit rotation. And I think I did minus 30 last time. Change that to local space. test that to make sure that you change the right direction. Looks like I did not. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to change this to back to 0 and this one to 30. Okay, and back over here. Still nothing. Okay, must have done something wrong. Let me put... Okay, so I finally fixed my foot roll. I don't know what's wrong with it. What did I do? Okay, so I don't know, somehow I didn't change that to a -30. So with -30 and 30 here, with my accesses on, it does work for me. If yours isn't working, just let me know and we'll kind of figure it out. So it should, you know, have the limit rotation for both of those directions. Okay, so now we're selecting the heel roll. We're going to add the copy rotation. Target armature bone foot roll.r, sorry, foot roll.r. Go ahead and change this to local space. You can uncheck those. And if it's easier, you can also just click back on this one and kind of see what we did there and check it. Okay. And then, so now we need to add the limit rotation. So coming, oh, not that one, this one. So now I'm going to come up here, do limit rotation, and you should be able to do, I'm hoping you should be able to do the same settings that you had earlier and change that to local space. And you want to test that and see what happens. I think that's right. Okay, so now we're going to go to the toe. So select the toe. We're going to add a copy rotation. Not limit. Copy rotation. Target armature bone is going to be toe roll dot L. Go ahead and change that to local space. On mix, we want to change that to offset. If we can turn off the Y and the Z. If we come back to the foot roll control, you can see, well, it should. The toe should remain in place, except to this point when it doesn't. But really, I don't know how far you're going to be putting that back anyway. Okay, so now let's do the other toe. So toe.r, add copy rotation, target armature, bone. This is going to be toe roll.r. We can turn off Y and Z, change this to local space. Test it with the foot roll bone. Okay. One thing I did forget, I forgot to change this here, which we did do that. I went to offset, so I'm going to see what the difference is here. So that's what it looks like with it on. And let me see what it looks like without it on. Back on replace and see what that does. Looks the same to me, but I'm going to leave it at offset. Okay, now we need to go and go back to edit mode. So, yeah, we're still adding more bones. We are going to select this here. You can get your thing to see what is selected. Want this? No, not that. We want this, the knee, sorry. This little knee bone here. And we're going to press Shift and A. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, we want to do Shift S and move the cursor to selected. Then we're going to do Shift A to create a new bone there. And we'll just bring this down, make it smaller. Okay, we'll select this, press F2. We can name that knee.L. Okay, then we need to move our cursor back to the world origin. So Shift S, cursor to world origin, and we'll click back on this where we make it the 3D cursor. And we have this selected. Okay, so I'm pressing Shift and D to duplicate that. Right click to hold in place. With that knee.001 selected, I'm then going to do Ctrl M and press X to get that there. Enter. Okay. So now with that selected, I can press F2. No, sorry. I can right click. I could just press F2. Name. We'll flip names. Oh, I didn't add .l. So F2, knee.l. And then, so this one I'll need to go and change to knee.r. We can go put this back to medium point. Then you can select both of these bones, maybe, okay. And we're just gonna move them out a little bit so that they're away from the character, or we can control the knees better. Okay, so now we need to go into pose mode and add some more bone constraints. I know you're loving this. Okay, so we need to select the foot bone. So right now we have foot IK, so make sure you go and change it to, if it does say the wrong one, we just want foot.l selected. We can go to our object data, bone constraint properties. Okay, so then over here where we have the IK and pull target, we're going to select armature and then select our knee.l. We can start typing it in. There it is. Okay, so to fix this, we want to change the pull angle. Just start moving this so this gets straight, and it should come straight about 90 degrees. Mine is going to be -90. So just get that. If you're having issues falling right on it, just type it in, -90. Okay, so that should be good there. So then if we select this knee control and we press G to move that, you can see that the knee is always going to be facing whatever direction that this is in. Okay. So then if you are moving, let's like the foot control, moving it this way, then you can also come and grab that knee and move it also with it to better control your legs. So now I'm going to clear all that. Okay, so now we do the same thing on this other side. So select your foot.r. Remember to check which one you have selected. Right now it's the wrong one. So we need to go find foot.r. If we go here, there should already be the constraint. We're going to add that armature, and bone, we'll do knee.r. Okay, then we can come look at it this way and start changing the pull angle. Should be about the same, -90. Again, if you can't get it right on that point, you can type it in. Okay, so then if I press this and press G, that's moving, so everything should be working okay. Okay, so now we need to parent this knee bone. So we need to go back to edit mode, select our knee.l, hold shift and select foot control. Make sure you have the right one selected. Control P and keep offset. We'll do the same thing on this side. Select knee, hold down shift, foot control, Control P, keep offset. Arrange the poses fine, maybe, hopefully. If not, we can always go back and anything. So